And we know God by his very nature is self-sufficient. He does not need anything to continue his existence. God does not need to eat. God does not need to sleep. God does not need to pray. God is not in need of anything, because if he was in need of something, then he would not be God. He would need something else other than himself to exist. That would therefore not make him, that would take away his Godship.
Yeah! Y'all niggas even use y'all brain? Do you think for a second? I mean, it's obvious to me. You can never be God. You can never be the omnipotent, the one who is above all. You can never be self-sufficient. Feel it. All you hoteps got bodies with God boxes. All 5% of you need a God conscience. Tuckwa, so God stop it with that God nonsense. Confused thinking you the subject when you God's object. Lusting for vanity, pleading for insanity. Do what makes you feel good, cheapen our humanity. Clarence the 13, damaged you earthlings. Talk of ancient Egypt and Nubian first kings. Talk of alphabets 120s, cause son's sullied. You ain't gotta call me God to feel I'm from something. The biggest sign that chimes you ain't divine. That you will be dependent till the day that you die. What kind of God closes his eyes and go to sleep? Do God get sick? Do we need food to eat? Think, was he ever born at the mercy of a mother? You let some fool empower you to be a lost sucker. All the while they're not the one who designed you. All them breaths you take but didn't make who assigned you. What kind of sustaining needs sustenance to keep up? What kind of king falls asleep on his own kingdom? Trust God and you just ain't mutual. What's good, human need a throne to feel useful. See, I pull apart your arm, leg, arm, head. The real God is ever living, never dead.
كذب الملحدون. The atheists are liars. Non-existence cannot bring existence. Anarchy or chaos cannot bring order into existence. Ignorance cannot bring knowledge into existence. This is an intellectual inversion of reality, like somebody who's walking on his head and his feet are in the air. This is something that humans have never believed.
Don't let Steven get you hyped up either. Devil's on foot and up in wheelchairs to deceive you. What a test, a cripple with intelligence. Sympathy and understanding got the world to jettison. Atheists don't wanna say it, but they same as them. Wanna worship self by claiming that it can't exist. Then they use evolution, that's ever foolish. Camouflage is being lauded by men who speak lucid. So because God is beyond comprehension, come up with elaborate schemes to say that he invented. Don't watch Making Me, ain't leaning on complexities. Just saying if it exists, somebody put it there to let it be. Everything got something making it do what it do. But they rather run with the idea that everything is a fluke. An accident of greatness, of perfection on the fly. Anything to live godly and not a slave of the Most High. Do a footprint appear without a foot being planted? Does a painting paint itself without a hand on the canvas? Is a plane a force of random or man-made the mechanics? Everything that you see is a reflection of planning, a placement. This is basic, nothing is haphazard. But your excuse for creation is that it just happened. Intelligent men not using good sense, accusing us of needing fairy tales while nothing is their myth. Something has always clearly been here. We use intelligence to help us vindicate our fears. What's the science behind it? You dudes is lying, trying to charge non-existence with an existence indictment. Preposterous, your understanding is twilight. Can't cope with being regular and finite. But something infinite exists that you came from. Beyond that life and death you can't escape from.
Allah says, Ya ibadi, O my slaves. If the first of you to the last of you, the human of you and the jinn of you, if you were all to come together collectively, all, not some, all of you were to come together collectively to worship me and worship me and worship me until you become like the most pure heart amongst you. This does not increase my greatness in any way, shape or form. And the opposite is true, you little gangster. Ya ibadi, O my slaves. If all of you, the human of you and the jinn of you, if you were all to come together collectively and all of you were to steal, cheat, sell drugs, prostitute. Do whatever you desire, you little gangster. Do whatever you think makes you look cool and hectic on the street. Allah says clearly, if all of you, not some, if all of you were to do it collectively, until you become like the most criminal heart amongst you, this doesn't take anything away from my mulk in any way, shape or form. Allah doesn't need anyone. Allah doesn't need anyone. Allah is Al-Malik. Allah is free. Antum al-fuqara ila Allah. You are the destituted ones to Allah.